On today's episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides, we'll talk about topics like a possible $5,000 dividend hitting your bank account shortly, Apple releasing the same products over and over again, the COVID-19 vaccine, will it get banned in the United States? Why are so many people shifting to the Republican Party? And will they ever stop threatening Donald Trump's life? All that and much more coming up on today's episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides, starting now.
The moment is here. This is our moment.
America, we are back, baby. Welcome to episode 27 of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides. I already talked to you guys about my topics today, so let's dive right on into them. First, I want to talk about the Department of Government Efficiency proposed a $5,000 dividend for all U.S. taxpayers. Elon Musk is currently exploring the idea of a one-time $5,000 payment for the tax-paying citizens. It would allocate 20% of the savings that the Department of Government Efficiency is finding and then dividing that for the taxpayers. I think this is an excellent plan. I also think this not only will boost the spirit of the American people, but it will bring a lot of the American people closer to the Republican Party. They'll see that the Republican Party isn't just trying to raise taxes for them and all the things that the liberals are lying about. The Republican Party wants to give back. We want to make it better for the American people, but we just don't want what Biden was doing, where he was just throwing money around willy-nilly and not trying to save money at the same time. The Department of Government Efficiency is doing everything they can to slash and cut spending across our government and our nation, saving billions of dollars nationwide. So when they're doing this, they're able to allocate some of those savings to the American people, which I think, like I said, is an excellent idea. I'm 100% supportive of it. I think Elon Musk and Donald Trump creating this idea is a great idea, and I hope that the idea comes to fruition. I think if the American people, especially in the current state we're in, where we're still transferring from the Biden economy to the Trump economy, in the current state we're in, $5,000 would go so far for so many people. That's a few months' rent, that's groceries for your family for a couple months, that's payments on your car, whatever problems the American citizens are dealing with, that will help them a lot. So I'm really glad that Elon Musk and Donald Trump did that, and I think it's a great, great move by them. I do want to go on to our next topic. I want to talk about Apple. They launched the iPhone 16e. So the iPhone 16e, it's going to be priced at $600. It will be released at the last day of this month, February 28th. So not really an insane amount of new differences with the iPhones. This is kind of what I want to talk about here. They've changed the screen size to 6.1 inches with an OLED screen, which that's a little bit of an upgrade. But beyond the, just Apple intelligence chips and things like that, there's not a huge upgrade in these iPhones besides the camera. Year after year, Apple's consistently releasing a new iPhone, and all they're saying is, oh, better camera this year. You can now take slow motion, panoramic videos. You could take whatever, who cares? I think Apple needs to slow down the release of these iPhones. I think if Steve Jobs was still alive, he would have fired everyone involved in all this. I don't think he agrees with the idea of continuously selling the same product with not really many improvements and just not focused on innovation anymore. Apple seems to not be the company they used to be, where they used to focus on just just new tech innovations that were just groundbreaking technology. When the iPhone came out, the best thing out there right at the moment was the BlackBerry. And to go from the BlackBerry to the iPhone was just this immense upgrade. And then they did so many different things when they released the iPod, when they released the iPad. Their computers have been excellent. And this isn't me hacking on Apple products. I'm a huge Apple product fan. I currently use them for the majority of my products. But at the same time, I don't buy new ones right now because there's not a lot of new Apple products that are worth getting that are much better than the ones I have that I bought a few years ago. I don't think that releasing the same product over and over again is a great business model. Apple obviously is doing great in business, so they don't need to take my advice. But I do think over time their sales will continue to decline, especially on these iPhones, if they can't release something more groundbreaking, newer technology or something we really haven't seen before. I think most people were expecting some sort of AR glasses following up the Apple Vision Pro, maybe some crazy new addition to the Apple Watch or whatever, but to just release a new version of the iPhone 16, which is one of their lower selling iPhones they've ever produced, it's pretty ridiculous. So I really hope Apple can get it together when it comes to their just creative ideas and design. Like I said, I think Steve Jobs, that's what he excelled at, and when he did sadly pass, I feel like a lot of that went away. I don't think Tim Cook has anywhere close to the same idea or vision that Steve Jobs had for Apple. So I really hope Apple does get that back. But I do want to get on to our next topic. I want to talk about a potential ban for the COVID-19 vaccine in the United States. So our government is currently talking about banning the Pfizer, Moderna vaccines in the United States, saying that there are health concerns due to the side effects of these. Myocarditis has been a huge one, especially in younger males and individuals, rare blood clotting disorders, pericarditis as well. So all these things are side effects that they didn't really tell us going into getting the vaccine. There wasn't a lot of information when the Biden administration was saying, hey guys, you have to go get this vaccine, it's mandatory. Wasn't a ton of information then, and now that we're getting more and more information as time goes on and we're seeing it in real time, if you're an NFL fan, you've seen NFL players collapse on the field with heart problems, DeMar Hamlin being one, and in the NBA as well, even LeBron James' son had a heart attack at just I think it was a young age of 19 or 20. It's extremely sad. I pray that no one I know ever has to go through that, and I pray no one in the world has to go through that. But sadly, we are dealing with that now because of the corruption by the Biden regime to push the vaccine through and make it mandatory in so many different places around the country. I really hope that as more information comes out on these vaccines, if it is proven that the vaccine does have, that the side effects are what they're saying, I really hope it does get banned. I want to do more research on it myself before I make an official stance on what I think right now. I have seen a lot of negative side effects in the media. I've seen them, like I said, watching the NFL, NBA, watching these athletes who shouldn't have heart problems have them. But I do want to do additional research on the topic as well before I give a real report to that on you guys. I do want to go on to our next topic. I want to talk about right now in Detroit. I'm going to show a video to you guys because this one's a little hard to explain, and then we'll talk about it after. But this is very sad what's happening in Detroit right now, and here's the video. So a 54-inch water main broke in southwest Detroit. It's causing massive flooding, and due to the sub-zero temperatures, it's being turned into ice, freezing roads, cars, buildings, everything in its place. Over 160 homes have been affected, and families are displaced because of it. They're opening up emergency shelters around Detroit for this, and the repairs, they're saying, could take 2 to 3 weeks. This is obviously extremely sad. I pray for anyone involved in this, or I pray no one got frozen in or anything. I just watched that video, and I've never seen anything like that. You see water frozen up to the window of a car. That's a very scary sight to see. So I pray for all the people in southwest Detroit. I hope they're okay. I hope they're able to file insurance claims and that everything goes smoothly with that. And if there's any more information on that, I'm of course going to try and keep you guys updated. But I do want to go on to our next topic, and this is another video I want to show you guys. So I'm going to pop this video up for you guys, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. But it's a video about the New Orleans Saints and their connection to the Catholic Church and a possible connection to the sex abuse scandal with the Catholic Church.
New emails reveal a stunning, far more disturbing connection between the New Orleans Saints and Catholic church leaders who were confronting the clergy's sex abuse crisis.
The internal emails obtained by the Associated Press show the team was far more involved than previously known in providing public relations help to Catholic church leaders. This is contrary to what the Saints organization said 5 years ago, holding that they had provided only, quote, minimal assistance to the Archdiocese of New Orleans in 2018.
The Saints said in a statement that the team does not condone sex abuse and criticized the use of leaked emails to misconstrue what they called a well-intended effort. But survivors of clergy abuse say they are disgusted by the team's involvement.
This is something that I really hope that this isn't true. I am a huge NFL fan, so it would break my heart to find out that an NFL team was involved in this, involved in helping someone in the Catholic Church who had molested a young boy or girl with lawyer fees, with different legal help, things in their legal battle with this. So I pray that that's not a thing there. I really hope it's not. I am going to keep you guys updated as I find more information on it. But it just is a surprising thing. It said internal emails showed that the Saints advised the church on media messaging, crisis control, and how to go about dealing with this. A lot of critics are arguing this was more about damage control than transparency, they're saying. And then they also said that Saints executives, including Gail Benson, VP Greg Bensel, helped the Catholic Church with PR strategies for the sex abuse allegations. The NFL commissioner defended the Saints, saying they're great corporate citizens. But there is ongoing legal investigation into the handling of the abuse cases and if the New Orleans Saints were involved at all. Like I said, I really hope they weren't, but I want to keep you guys updated as I find more information on that. I do want to go on to our next topic. I want to show you guys another video. We just have a couple topics left. But this one is one I love, and it shows how there's just a huge trending demographic of people shifting towards the Republican Party. So I'm going to play the video for you guys, and then we'll talk about why so many people are shifting from either being independent or from being a liberal to being a conservative.
Donald Trump and the Republican Party has changed the electorate. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at party identification, Democrats versus Republicans. You go back to 2017, 5 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. You go to 2021 when Joe Biden was starting out, look at that, 6 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. But look at what's happened in February of 2025. Look at this. Republicans, there are more Republicans in the electorate than there are Democrats. Republican +2. So Donald Trump and the Republicans have remade the electorate. They've turned some people over from being Democrats or independents to become Republicans. New folks have entered the electorate who are more Republican leaning. And so when you combine that with the fact that Republicans are really, really behind Donald Trump, all of a sudden you get a winning recipe whereby you break the normal rules of politics and give Donald Trump that positive net approval rating when he had pretty much a consistently negative one in term number one. As I said at the beginning, he's copying Frank Sinatra, doing it my way.
It's like a breath of fresh air seeing him speak about stuff like this on CNN. I think one of the reasons that Donald Trump's approval rating and the Republican Party's approval rating has shot up so high is because when Donald Trump first got elected, all these news networks spent all their time saying that he was a Russian plant. I'm trying to think of all the lies they spread about him, but they said he was a rapist. They said it was a Russian plant. They said that he was a dictator. They said all he wanted was to steal the American people's money. He was a warmonger. All these things that were just true about them for the most part. I really think that over time, as the media kept spinning these narratives, and as Donald Trump kept consistently proving them wrong, whether it was through legal battles or just through proof on social media, whatever it was, your average American, just you're not completely gone extremist American, was able to look at the information and be like, oh my God, I've been lied to for the last X amount of years. And they have not only lied to me about everything about Donald Trump, but this party has also shut down the country. They are starting wars and funding wars around the country. They're allowing wasteful spending. They're allowing money laundering. They're allowing criminals to pour into our country at an unprecedented rate and unvetted individuals to pour into our country at unprecedented rates. And they're just realizing, why would I align with that party anymore? Why wouldn't I align with a party who is putting its citizens first, is pro law and order, pro police, pro military, and wants to just express all the values that America is so fond of? Just manifest destiny, the idea of expanding our territories, like Trump is talking about with Canada, with Greenland, with Panama, with possibly with Mexico. But I don't know. I can't understand why they spent so long trying to tear Donald Trump down. I think in the beginning they thought it was working for them, and now they're realizing it just came back and bit them in the ass the entire time. They're realizing that the more they spent time trying to tear Donald Trump down, the more they tore themselves down. The trust in the media is at an all-time low, and it should be. There's a reason the majority of Americans are getting their news from social media and podcasts and not from your traditional media sources anymore. When Donald Trump went on Joe Rogan and got over 30 million views, I think, in 48 hours or whatever it was, he never could have done that with the Fox interview. When Donald Trump goes on Fox, there's about 80,000 concurrent watchers at one point. But if you go on YouTube or you go on any of these podcast platforms, you're getting way more, and they're realizing that. That's why the White House added the new press seat, and the conservative and Republican movement is 10 steps ahead of the liberal movement on this. They are still, I don't know if you guys watched the video of them trying to pick the DNC chair. It was like watching a clown show. The entire thing was a joke. The liberals and Democrats are completely separating themselves from reality, and your average American, your average liberal and Democrat, who, like I said, is not an extremist, is not completely far gone, is so far from where the actual party is, and they're becoming more independent and more conservative because of this. I see it a lot with my generation. I see a lot of younger liberals and just moving over to the conservative movement or aligning more with independent views, because they realize that they don't align with all the wokeness. They don't align with all the crime that's allowed to happen under just leftist policies. It's corrupted and it's not okay. And all it does is make America less safe, when all Donald Trump wants to do is make America great again. So I really agree with everything they said in the segment. I think that Donald Trump is doing the right things. And it kind of brings us to our last topic. I do want to talk about all the threats against Donald Trump. There have been tons of threats against Donald Trump's life, and this is a new video that I just saw online. We, along with a bunch of other news networks and social media accounts like Libs of TikTok and wokeness and all those things, have reported it to the FBI. But I want to play the video for you guys and just show how far gone some people really are.
Listen, all the Elon Trump stuff, it's getting to a point, man. It's getting like somebody's gonna have to, preferably someone who's already doing it, so one of y'all, but somebody's gonna have to just throw their life away on this one, just kind of take one for the team, just somebody has got to just, kind of get in there and go make history. You know who you are. You know who you are. So just buck up and do your duty,
What a vile, terrible human being. I mean, just go buck up and do your duty, go murder a president and go murder the richest man in the world because you don't align with their political values is disgusting. What Elon Musk and Donald Trump are doing are saving the taxpayers billions of dollars in annual spending, and they are trying to bring the economy back to where it should be. They're trying to make America great again, expand with Manifest Destiny. They're trying to bring America to Mars as well, to not only just continue the human race on Earth, but on a multi-planetary life to make sure that human civilization can live forever. The things these people are doing are so selfless and so beautiful, so graceful, and so amazing for this country. Donald Trump and Elon Musk should both be given Nobel Peace Prizes. They should be given countless awards, and we should be so grateful that they're in the positions they're in. Department of Government Efficiency is only around for 180 days, and I hope that Donald Trump does something to keep it around after that. I really love everything they're doing, and I find it despicable when someone like this is saying take their life. If you're out there and you're a crazy person and you're thinking about doing it, go do it. I think that's a terrible, terrible statement for that person to make. And I hope that person's arrested. I hope that justice is able to be done, because There are crazy people in this world. There are crazy people who see a video like that and think, oh, this is the sign I've been looking for. I'm just going to go do it. We see it all the time with these nuts who do kill these people. I think the majority of times you see someone take a shot at a president, take a shot at a big political figure. Most of the time it wasn't their idea originally. Someone put it up to it. The Thomas Crooks thing, I'm still convinced that it was a DC insider who put him up to it. They still haven't given full information on it, which I hope they do. But there was a phone that was tracked from DC to his house multiple times, and all the silverware was gone out of his house. Had been deep cleaned. It was just this weird thing where they made it very obvious that they didn't want DNA being ran on his house. He was also in a BlackRock ad. So, I don't know. I think most of these people are just crazy people who are put up to it. So when someone does something like that, it incentivizes those crazy people, sets something off in their minds to go do it. So that person should be arrested. I think that is a terrible use of your free speech to try and commit a crime right there, because that's violating free speech. That's threatening people's lives is not free speech. It's threats, and that's not okay in America. I really hope justice is brought to this person. I'm James Pascalides. This has been episode 27 of America Unfiltered. I'm signing off today. I hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you.